Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayit. Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shlokir Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Chananda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Vageshwari Yasya Vadane Lakshmi Yasyasya Vakshase Yasya Asti Hridaya Samvit Tam Narsingam Aham Bhaje. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Dear devotees, you are all welcome for continuing our Bhakti Vaibhava study of fifth canto of Srimad Bhagvatam, chapter 14, the allegory of forest. So, how many allegories by now you know in the Bhagavatam? Some other allegory have you read till now?
Yes, the city of nine gates, the story of Puranjan.
Yeah, Puranjan. This Puranjan is in fourth canto allegory, right? That is right, perfectly right. So, what is allegory? Here is the allegory of the forest. And this forest allegory is compared to what?
Material world.
Sorry?
Material world.
Material world. Okay, material world. Forest is compared to material world. And living entities enter into the material world, goes deep and don't find the way out back. That's what the whole allegory is about. And when he goes into the forest, and there are some mostly, the second part of this allegory is the family life. In the material world, the single binding force or element is family life, all the bondages. And there are two type of plunderers or dacoits. Who are those two, and which one is more difficult to get ourselves protected? Yes, two types of dacoits or plunderers.
The mind and the senses.
Mind and senses is one, and number two is
family desires.
Family members. Yeah, family member, wife, son, and relatives, whatever. Out of the two, which is very difficult?
Mind and senses.
Mind and senses are more difficult to control. That's good. So now we are starting from verse number 11. So this section from verse number 1 to 41. Almost these 41 verses, explanation of the allegory as given by Sukdev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. Of what? Of the forest. Bhavati, they call Atvi Bhavati. So we are reading now verse number 11. And you keep in mind that what is explained in chapter 13, that was more like, allegory, and Maharaj wanted to know the more explanation. So actually the verse which are spoken as in chapter 13, they are more elaborately explained in chapter 14. So verse number 11. Sometime the conditioned soul. Okay, when we are saying conditioned soul, what we mean by that? Anybody? What is conditioned soul?
The one that is influenced by material modes of nature.
Conditioned soul is one who is bound by the three modes of material nature. He is under the influence of three modes of material nature, therefore he is called conditioned soul. He is conditioned by three modes of material nature. By the way, where the mode of nature exert their influence in our body?
Actually, everywhere.
Modes of nature exert their influence on what is called inner senses or antahkarana. Inner senses, karana means senses and antar means inner senses, mind, false ego, intelligence and polluted consciousness. And because of the influence of three modes of nature on these four parts of the subtle body, the living entity develops his nature, subhava. So every individual has a different nature, and this nature is governed by three modes of material nature and their influence on the subtle body, and therefore nature goes from one body to the other body along with the living entity in subtle body. Some people are greedy, some people are more angry, some people are very fine, nice gentlemen. This is their nature, and the nature is by the influence of three modes of material nature. If the mode of material nature is goodness, is much more than he has a divine qualities. He is like a demigod. If the more influence of mode of passion, then he is more having the lobha, kama lobha adi. Kama means material desires and lobha means greed. And he is more with the asuri nature or the demonic nature. And the influence of mode of ignorance is very prominent, then he is too low actually, more demonic in nature. So conditioned soul is very aggrieved by chastisement of his enemies and government servants who use harsh words against him directly or indirectly. At that time his heart and ears become very saddened. Such chastisement may be compared to the sound of owls and crickets. So in the forest there are sounds of owl and crickets, which is very disturbing to the ears and painful to the heart. Similarly, in a household life, in a material world, the government and the enemies, they try to harass a person for money and use harsh words. Why you are not paid taxes? What is all that? So Chakravarti Pad writes, sometimes Kochid, his ears and heart are pained. Ati Vyathit Karana means ear, Mool Hridaya means heart. By the scalding Nirbharastena. Bharshan is a word in Chaitanya Chaitamrita. Krishna is very pleased when the gopis chastise him. That's called bharshan. So there is the same word bharshan. Of the government officials are enemies. Ripu means enemy. And Rajakul means the government officials. Directly or indirectly. Pratyaksha proksham. Pratyaksha direct, proksham indirectly. Who use arrogant words. Ati parushaha. Arising from their severe enthusiasm. Rabhas atopam. This is like sound of owls and crickets. Uluk means owl and jhilli means cricket. So the summary of the verses, enemies and government servants. There are different type of enemies within the material world. The government chastise one due to not paying income tax or other type of taxes. Such criticism, direct or indirect, sadden one, and sometimes the conditioned soul tries to counteract that chastisement. Unfortunately, he cannot do anything. Now, Chakravarti Pad writes, this verse explains the sound of crickets, which is in verse 5 of 13th chapter. He becomes pained by the scolding of government official having pride arising from harsh enthusiasm. Anybody can explain what it means actually? The scolding of government officials having pride arising from harsh enthusiasm. How can you explain this line?
I don't know, but I guess it's like that these government officials are very enthusiastic to accept tax, and because they think it's their right, they become proud, and due to that they do it harshly. They don't come with gentle words to get.
So they have a
tax.
pride of their position. They have pride of their position, and therefore they use the harsh word. And enthusiastically means they are very aggressive. They are very aggressive to the people. So this is something what the people living in the cities notice, and this is in the forest compared to the sound of the crickets and owls. Next verse number 12. Due to his pious activities in previous lives, living entity, the conditioned soul attain material facilities in this life. But when they are finished, he takes shelter of wealth and riches, which cannot help him in this life or in the next. Because of this, he approaches the living dead who possess these things, means wealth. And living dead because they have no spiritual goal in life, so they are living dead. They are just having they are rich, they are filthy rich with the money, and people go and take shelter of such people because his pious credits are exhausted, and such people are living dead. Such people are compared to impure trees. So such rich people who are living dead are compared in the forest to the impure trees, creepers and poisonous wells. So the three things. When his pious credits are exhausted, yada dugdha purava sukritah, he approaches, he upadhavati, sa upadhavati, wealthy men, Dravinam, the living dead, Jivan Mritan, without goal in his life and the next, ubhayo artha shunya, who are like impious trees and creepers, apunya drummalata, such as these are the type of trees which are in the verse. Kar kar, karas kar, or kak tunda are like poisonous wells. Vishwa udapanavada. Word udapanavad, when you read, anybody remembers some verse in Bhagavad Gita? Udapana.
Like all the purpose of the well is served by rivers. Yathotpane.
Yeah, this is the same word. Udpan means well. The purpose of all different well is served by the big reservoir of water. That is the verse in Bhagavad Gita. Udapana means well. Srila Prabhupada's purpose. Now, Srila Prabhupada is speaking positively. How to utilize the pious credits of the previous life. Somebody was saying something? The wealth and riches acquired through previous pious activities should not be misused for sense gratification. Enjoying them for sense gratification is like enjoying the fruit of a poisonous tree. Such activities will not help the conditioned soul in any way, neither in this life nor in the next. However, if one engages his position in the service of the Lord under the guidance of a proper spiritual master, he will attain happiness both in this life and the next. Unless he does so, he eats a forbidden apple and thereby loses his paradise. This is Prabhupada is using English phrase. Adam took the apple and then he was out of the paradise. So Lord Krishna therefore advises that one's possession should be given unto him. Yad karoshi yadasnasi jahosi yadasi yadyatapasyasi konte tat kurusho madarpanam. O son of Kunti, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities that you may perform should be done as an offering to me. How can that be done? How can that be done?
That like when we eat, we should offer and then have it. And whatever money we earn, we should not use in our sense gratification. We should use our money and possessions in helping Krishna consciousness movement like this.
Is this word Nishkam Karma Yoga or Bhakti or what? What is this verse actually classified?
Nishkam Karma Yoga.
Nishkam Karma Yoga, we offer the result of pious activities only. And Bhakti we offer first and then perform. So it is neither Nishkam Karam Yoga nor pure Bhakti. It is higher than Nishkam Karam Yoga, but it is a little less than pure Bhakti.
This is what is the technical word for this?
This is the Chakravarti Pad's purport on this verse in Bhagavad Gita. Because anything we are offering, whatever we do, whatever we give away, everything we offer to Krishna. So the one word generally, in a general people, as used to say, we should learn one word to say, Krishna Arpanam Astu. Krishna Arpanam Astu. Somebody gives me something, whatever fruit, whatever, I simply, say, touch my head and say, Krishna Arpanamastu. I am offering it to Krishna. So, first we have to simply speak like that. When we speak like that, then it becomes our nature. And then we can practically start doing it. This is for the general people. But for the devotees, the best policy is early in the morning, make a sankalp that whatever I do today, it is for the pleasure of Hari Guru Vaishnava or Krishna Priti Arthe. I'll do it for the pleasure of Krishna. Krishna include all the Vaishnavas and everybody. So that is for the devotees. Devotees, if they practice saying this thing in the morning, whatever I perform today, it is for the pleasure of Krishna, Hari Guru Vaishnava. That is devotion. And at the end of the day, say, whatever I have done, I am offering it to Krishna. So in this way, we are not implicated in the reaction of the work. This
Prabhuji,
is
in the end, what we should say?
Krishna Arpanamastu.
Everything I offer to Krishna.
Yeah. So Madhuri Gaurangi, your hand is up. You have a question?
Yes, about this verse. So can we see then this verse in two ways? One is, like you mentioned, for devotees, that I'm saying, I will do only those things which I offer. Everything will be offered to you. So basically, I will engage in only in those things which you like. So that's what I will offer. And then other way of seeing it is like more like you said, it's not pure bhakti. So then I say, I like something, so whatever I like, I will offer to you today. So there are two. Is this
That is then it is going to be, if whatever I like I will do and then offer to Krishna is Nishkam Karma Yoga. The difference between the Nishkam Karma Yoga and devotional service is that in Nishkam Karma Yoga, first we perform the act as we like and then we offer the result to Krishna. And in devotion we can do...
So this verse?
Yeah. In this verse, there's nothing... in this verse of Bhagavad Gita, which is more than Nishkam Karma Yoga, because anything and everything we do, in Nishkam Karma Yoga, usually all the good things we offer, the things which are according to the scripture. But here, anything and everything. Shubha Shubha Phalerevam Moksha Se Karama Bandhanai. After that is Shubha Shubha Karam. Shubha means auspicious, Ashubha means inauspicious. Everything. Phaler and their result offered to Krishna. So this verse is more near to the devotion. What Arjun was doing is not auspicious, he was killing the people. But he was killing for the pleasure of Krishna, so it is devotion.
And Prabhuji,
Yes.
Because the way it's translated, it is whatever you eat, you offer to Krishna. So it seems like my eating comes first. It's a translation in our Bhagavad Gita as it is. It's like this.
Yat karosi, whatever you use. Yat ashnasi, number 2, whatever you eat. Yat johosi, whatever you give. Dadasi, whatever you give. Johosi, receive. Yat tapasyasi, whatever you do the austerities. Konteya karushva madapanam. You just offer to me. So Ram Yagya, your hand is up.
Yes, Prabhu. So can we understand Nishkama Karma Yoga as like devotional service performed in the mood of Satagun? Because in the third canto, Kapila was telling about devotional service in different modes, and he's saying offer the result to Krishna is devotional service in Satagun. Can we see Nishkama Karma Yoga as Satagun, like devotional service in Satagun?
Not exactly. There the Kapil Dev is speaking about bhakti is beyond three modes of material nature, but the devotees who is practicing bhakti, he may be still under the influence of three modes of material nature. And his instruction is we should associate only those who are acting in mode of goodness, and we should just give respect but avoid the association of those who are in mode of passion and ignorance. So that was the context of the third canto. This is general verse of ninth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is actually most confidential knowledge. And in this most confident knowledge, this verse is quite near to the devotion. But it is not pure devotion because we have performed activities according to our own desire. But we are offering the result to Krishna. This is only the difference. Material wealth and opulence attained through the previous pious activities can be fully utilized for one's benefit in this life and the next if one is Krishna conscious. One should not try to possess more than he needs for the bare necessities. If one gets more than is needed, the surplus should be fully engaged in the Lord's service. That will make the conditioned soul, the world and Krishna happy. Three things. Who will be happy by this? The conditioned soul will be happy, the whole world will be happy, and Krishna will be happy. And this is the aim of the life. Now you write, what is the aim of the life in this verse? Srila Prabhupada tells in the purport is, we have to please Krishna, and with Krishna we have to please all the living entities basically. World means living entities living in the world, and also ourselves. And this is according to fourth canto, watering the root you will nourish the whole tree. Putting the food in the stomach, you give energy to the whole body. So by pleasing Krishna, you please the world and the soul. You know, when you see this thing, then you immediately think, this is where? Where is this? This is in the fourth canto. Nischayana tripyanti. When the root is yathataro ramula nischayana. This is the verse. So this is one way to understand this. Is it clear? Vishakha Priya, your hand is up, and Panchjanya Nath Das, the two hands are up.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. For devotion, you said that because we do the activity according to our desire, so this is not pure devotion.
Yeah.
But similarly, Prabhuji, you gave this example like Arjuna was killing for the pleasure of Krishna. So Arjuna was doing for the pleasure of Krishna.
So it was not auspicious. I'm saying it was not auspicious. Both auspicious or inauspicious you can do for Krishna. You know, in a Nishkam Karam Yoga, you have to do only auspicious things, not inauspicious. In devotion, it's only that anything you can do just to please Krishna.
So here, Prabhuji, that category fulfilled that Arjuna is offering even the killing of the soldiers to Krishna, but also he is doing it for the pleasure of Krishna.
Yeah.
So it is pure devotion, Prabhuji.
It is pure devotion because he is engaging his talents in the service of Krishna, on the order of Krishna. So he is not implicated in any karma, and it is a pure devotional service.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
And Panchjanya Prabhu?
Prabhuji, can you give me one gross difference? I understood the difference between Nishkam Karma Yoga and this 9.27 verse. But what is the difference between pure devotional service and this 9.27?
The difference is that he is not offering first. He is doing first and then offering. Then you read the seventh canto, where there are 9 types of devotional service. And the next verse connected with that said, first arpit and then perform. You refer that verse in Sharvanam Kirtanam Vishnu, and the next verse says first arpita Vishnu, first offer and then do.
Prabhupada, I have another question.
Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. First means you have to start with offering it to Krishna directly.
And then do, and then perform it.
And then perform it.
Yeah, first do sankalp, like in Yajna we do sankalp and then we perform.
Oh, like that.
Right.
But here in 9.27, first we are doing and then offering. So that's why.
Yeah, therefore it's not a pure devotional service.
Oh. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
And then you understand this soul, world and Krishna philosophy?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You understood this last lines, the conditioned soul, world and Krishna become happy. And this is the aim of life.
Make the conditioned soul, the world and Krishna happy, and the aim of life is finished.
Yeah, this is the aim of life. And then we gave the example, you remember? Just I told you, how can we explain this? Watering the root.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Root is Krishna, and the world is tree, and I am also the fruit in the tree as a soul.
Yes.
We all are satisfied and happy.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Prabhu, can I ask another question?
Yes?
What's the difference between Nishkama Karma Yoga and the Karma Yoga?
What is the difference between?
Nishkama Karma Yoga and the Karma Yoga.
Karma Yoga has two types. One is Nishkam and other is Sakam. So Karma Yoga, generally we take Nishkam really as a Karma Yoga, but Sakam is a lower stage. Sakam means mostly the general people, pious people, they earn the money, they enjoy themselves and some they offer to Krishna. This is Sakam Karma Yoga. Because they are earning, they are enjoying themselves, some result and some they are offering to Krishna. That is Sakam Karma Yoga. And there are some other people, they perform everything according to their desire, but all the result they offer to Krishna. That is Nishkam Karma Yoga.
So the difference is totally offered, just offered partially, right?
But usually in a Karma Yoga, we only accept Nishkam. Sakam is a little low, but most of the pious people are doing Sakam Karma Yoga because they are giving some portion of their earning in the service of Sri Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, when we do chanting, then we offer that chanting, in the name of your Guru Maharaj and Prabhupada and the mission. Then we do it after I complete your chanting, like how
chanting is basically, holy name is Krishna himself. Holy name is Krishna himself. So we should say we are chanting for pleasure of Krishna. We are chanting that we should get the taste in chanting. Because chanting is Krishna, so what can we offer? We can say we are chanting this a really holy name because the spiritual master has ordered me, so it is just for pleasure of spiritual master, and the purpose is to awaken love of Krishna. So we pray to the holy name basically because holy name is Krishna. So it's not that we can offer to anybody. Simply we can perform this chanting as love for Krishna. Just to awaken the love of Krishna. That is only the purpose of chanting. For Prayojan, love of Krishna. This is not some activity. It's the holy name is Krishna himself.
So if we have to ask for the protection of, the mission and everyone, even for others, then we don't pray to Krishna?
We can pray to Krishna that Krishna, please do something which is beneficial for so and so person. Not what we want, but what Krishna think is beneficial for that person. If you wish Krishna, then you can do something for that. Most of the time, for senior devotees, if they have some, health problem in the morning, we say Srila Prabhupada's pleasure for Krishna, if you are willing, if you wish, then so and so person should continue serving Prabhupada. Something like that. Not that we order, but we pray like that. So verse number 12, Chakravarti Pad writes, this verse explains the impious trees mentioned in 5:13:5. Impious trees. Who are impious trees? Rich men and dead, living dead. Rich men who are living dead are compared to impious trees. The jeev has used up all his pious result by enjoyment. Karaskar is a pious herb. Wealthy men without goal in life are the next, are like such trees. And similar creepers are poisonous wells. So wealthy people who have no goal in life are poisonous trees, poisonous well, are such similar creepers. This is analogy. Verse number 13. Sometimes to mitigate distresses in this forest of material world, conditioned soul receives cheap blessing from atheists. He then loses all intelligence in their association. This is exactly like jumping in a shallow river. As a result, one simply breaks his head. He is not able to mitigate his suffering from the heat. Why he was jumping in the water? Because it was too hot, so he wanted to cool down. But because he jumped in a very shallow river or a river with no water, so he simply, neither he has mitigated his suffering and nor on the top of that he has broken his head. And in both ways he suffers. The misguided conditioned souls also approaches so-called sadhus and swamis who preach against the principle of Vedas. He does not receive benefit from them either in the present or in the future. Now the verse says, once ekda. After his intelligence has been cheated by the materialist, nishkrit mati asat prasangat. There is a good verse in Bhagavatam which says, satam prasangan. Satam prasangam vambirya. This is I think everybody must remember this verse from 3rd canto, right?
Yes.
So this is asat prasangat. Just opposite. Association of non-devotees. Satam prasangat asaka. And mati means intelligence for future. In Hindi in English we have only one word, intelligence, but in a Vedic system the past tense, intelligence of past tense is called smriti. Intelligence of present is called buddhi. And intelligence for future is called mati. Mati means, and the best mati in Bhagavatam is sati mati mukande. That is the chaste intelligence which select Krishna in the future as the goal. Sati mati mukande. So nishkrit mati.
I'm sorry, could you explain what does it mean? Intelligence for future, intelligence for past, and intelligence
Past
for...
intelligence is smrti. Smrti. Smrti means remembrance. You remember, if you remember a lot of things, then you are called your intelligence is good about past things. And present, you immediately answer rightly, is called intelligence of the presence, buddhi. Is buddhiman, is intelligent. And if you select the right goal for the future, is called mati. And that intelligence which is focused on Krishna is called in Bhagavad Gita pragya. Sthita pragya. Pragya is also intelligence. Sthit means fixed on Krishna.
It is present, pragya.
Pragya is it is a pragya is higher than intelligence. So there are different words for intelligence in Sanskrit language. Like jumping into the dry river bed and breaking one's head. View udaka. View means no, udak means water. Shrota means river. And skalanvad has broken his head. So atheist. Cheaters are always there to manufacture their own way of spiritual realization. Like when Prabhupada was preaching, there were so many people, they wanted to be high on the hashish, and they were thinking it is spiritual. So many people have a different way, and they are cheaters. And to get some material benefit, the conditioned soul approach these pseudo sannyasis and yogis for cheap blessings. But he does not receive any benefit from them, either spiritual or material. This is a very common thing, people just go to these type of people for health problems, for family problems, for so many things, but they are cheaters. They cannot give any spiritual or material benefit to the people. But they are everywhere commonly, you can see them. In this age, there are many cheaters who show some jugglery and magic. Now Prabhupada is referring to person. They even create gold to amaze their followers, and their followers accept him as God. This type of cheating is very prominent in Kali Yuga. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur described the real Guru in this way. Sansara davana lalidaloka tranaya karunya gana ganatvam prapatasya kalyana granana vasya vande guru sri charanarabindam. One should approach a guru who can extinguish the blazing fire of this material world, the struggle for existence. So blazing fire is struggle for existence. People want to be cheated, and therefore they go to the yogis and swamis who play tricks, but tricks do not mitigate the miseries of the material world, material life. If being able to manufacture gold is a criterion for becoming God, then why not accept Krishna, the proprietor of the entire universe, wherein there are countless tons of gold? As mentioned before, the color of the gold is compared to the will of the wisp or a yellow stool. Therefore, one should not be allured by gold manufacturing gurus, but should sincerely approach a devotee like Adhbhut. Adhbhut instructed Rahugana Maharaj so well that the king was relieved from bodily conception. One cannot become happy by accepting false guru. A guru should be accepted as advised in Srimad Bhagvatam. Tasmad gurum prapadyeta jigyasu shriya uttamam. One should approach a bona fide guru to inquire about the highest benefit of the life. Shriya uttamam. There is a word shriya and priya. Priya means what I like. Shriya means which is right according to the scripture. So always we should go for shriya, not for priya. When when Arjuna is surrendering to Krishna, he uses Yat Sriya Sunishchitam Brivitanve Shishyastyam Sadimam Tvam Parpanam. He says Shriya. And the first verse, I think first question in the first chapter of Bhagavatam is Atyantik Shriya. What is the ultimate benefit for all? Is not Priya. In fourth canto, you see the two wives of the King Uttanpad. Suniti is Shriya and Surichi is Priya. If one who is following the codes of moral and spiritual scripture, then is Suniti. He is doing Shriya. And Suruchi means whatever he like, that is Priya. So Shriya is more important. And Uttamam, Tama means darkness, and Utta means beyond darkness. It means we should ask a spiritual master to take us from the darkness to the light, which means from ignorance to the knowledge. Such gurus is described as follows. Shabda pare cha nishnata. Shabda is pare, means transcendental Vedic knowledge. And Nishnat means one who is completely well versed in the Vedic knowledge. Such a guru does not manufacture gold or juggle words. He is well versed in the conclusion of Vedic knowledge. Vedesya sarver aham eva vedya. He is freed from all material contamination, is fully engaged in Krishna's service. If one is able to obtain dust of lotus feet of such guru, his life becomes successful. Otherwise, he is befouled both in this life and the next. And Chakravarti Pad writes, after his intelligence cheated by association with materialists, he falls into the dry river bed and break his head. Later he comes to his senses. The material impostor gives suffering in this life and the next.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
is Shabde means well versed in knowledge?
Shabda means Vedas.
Vede, yeah. And Pare means he is
Transcendental.
transcendental. And Nishnata means
Krishna means well versed.
Oh, okay.
You can refer to the directly in 11th canto this verse. You can find word to word and everything. This is my educated guess.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Verse number 14. In this material world, when the conditioned soul cannot arrange for his own maintenance, despite exploiting others, he tries to exploit his own father or son, taking away that relative's possessions, although they may be very insignificant. If he cannot acquire things from his father or son or other relatives, he is prepared to give them all kind of troubles. When he cannot support himself, yada tu atmane na panmati, by giving pain to other, para badhaya andha. Para badhaya andha. He gives trouble, tada sa khalu bhakshati, to his father or son, pitra putran, who are regarded as insignificant. Pitra putra brahishmataha, exploit his own relatives. Once we actually saw, Prabhupada is witnessing and sharing his experience. Once we actually saw a distressed man steals ornament from his daughter just to maintain himself. As the English proverb goes, necessity knows no law. When a conditioned soul needs something, he forgets his relationship with his relatives and exploits his own father or son. We also receive information from Srimad Bhagvatam that in the age of Kali, time is quickly approaching when a relative will kill another relative for small farthings. Without Krishna consciousness, people will deteriorate further and further into the hellish condition, wherein they will perform abominable acts. This verse explains begging from others. Verse number 6 of chapter 13. Begging from others. When he does not have food for a livelihood that gives pain, then that gives pain to other, he gives trouble to his father or son, which are insignificant like kush grass, by bringing troops from the king's gate to harass them. What Chakravarti Pada is writing, that when he has nothing, then he will go to the court and bring the police that this is the property and I have my share, and so this type he will give trouble to his own relatives. And this is commonly you can see everybody is fighting like that in a Kali Yuga. Necessity knows no law. Verse number 15. In this world, family life is exactly like blazing fire in the forest. There is not the least happiness, and gradually one becomes more and more implicated in unhappiness. In household life, there is nothing favorable for perpetual happiness. Being implicated in the home life, the conditioned soul is bound by the fire of lamentation. Sometimes he condemns himself as being very unfortunate, and sometimes he claims that he suffers because he performed no pious activities in his previous life. Sometimes he enters the house, kochid asadya graham, which is like a forest fire, davanat, devoid of pleasing object, priya artha viduram, and ending in suffering, asukha udarakam, and burning by the fire of lamentation, shoka agnina dahayamanaha, become greedy, become greatly depressed, brisham nirvedam upagachati. So, family life. In the Guru Ashtakam, Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Sang, Sansara Davana Lidloka, Tane Karune Gana Gantom. A life in this material world is exactly like blazing fire. No one goes to set fire to the forest, yet the fire takes place. Similarly, everyone wants to be happy in the material world, but the miserable condition of the material life simply increases. Sometimes a person caught in the blazing fire of material existence condemns himself, but due to his bodily conception, he cannot get out of the entanglement, and thus he suffers more and more. So, this verse explains the forest fire of the 13th chapter, verse number 6, forest fire. You know, the young brahmachari, he left some time and then he married, and after some time he came back to the temple, and the devotees, his old friend said, so they saw some rings in his finger. He said, oh, wonderful. He said, yes, this is the engagement ring, this is the marriage ring, and there's another ring which nobody sees, but it comes along with this, and that is called suffering. So the third ring everybody has to wear who enter into the family life. Suffering. This ring is everybody has to wear. Verse 16. Government men are always like carnivorous demons, like Rakshasas, man-eaters. Sometimes these government men turn against the conditioned soul and take away all his accumulated wealth. Being bereft of his life's reserved wealth, the conditioned soul loses all enthusiasm. Indeed, it is as though he loses his life. When his wealth, dear as life, is stolen by government officials who are like Rakshasas, made by crooked time. He appears dead, without symptom of life. So the word Rajakul Rakshasa is very significant. Srimad Bhagvatam was compiled about 5,000 years ago, yet government men were referred as Rakshasas, or carnivorous demons. If government men are opposed to a person, that person will be bereft of all his riches, which he has accumulated with great care over a long period of time. Actually, no one wants to pay income tax. Even government men themselves try to avoid these taxes. But at an unfavorable time, income taxes are exacted forcibly, and taxpayers become very morose. This verse explains how the Yaksha take his wealth in verse number 6 of the 13th chapter. He loses all signs of life such as joy, or he faints from lamentation. Verse number 17. Sometime the conditioned soul imagines that his father or grandfather has again come in the form of his son or grandson. In this way, he feels the happiness one sometimes feels in a dream. And the conditioned soul sometimes takes pleasure in such mental concoctions. Sometimes he experiences the happiness of dream. Swapana nivarti lakshanam anubhavati. Out of a strong desire, manorath upagat, thinking that his dead father or grandfather has appeared. Asatya pitra pita mahad saditi. So he is living in a dream. Due to ignorance of the real existence of the Lord, the conditioned soul imagines many things. Influenced by the fruitive activity, he comes together with his relatives, fathers, sons, and grandfathers, exactly as straw gather together in moving stream. In a moment, these straws are thrown away everywhere and they lose contact. This is something in the 7th canto of Bhagavatam. Hiranyakashipu explained the family to his mourning mother and the wife of Hiranyakash. He is saying this philosophy. The family members are like straw which are together when there is a one wave in the river and they become separate by the next wave. So this is the explanation from that 7th canto. Prajanya, your hand is up. It is for some question or from previous? In conditional.
Yeah, Prabhuji, sorry, it is previous only.
Okay.
But I wanted to request Prabhuji, can we get these means you are explaining now from this PDF. So is it possible that we also get this?
I think I have shared this with somebody, maybe in previous, in this or some other, okay?
Prabhu, that is from 1 to 3. It is not heavy.
Okay,
Earlier you had shared.
okay, we will share.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Somebody should send the, I don't know how to share, but I will ask somebody to send somebody email, then I can send somebody and you can distribute among yourselves. In conditional life, the living entity is temporarily with many other conditioned souls. They gather together as family members, and the material affection is so strong that even after a father or grandfather passes away, one takes pleasure in thinking that they return to the family in different forms. Sometimes this may happen, but in any case, the conditioned soul likes to take pleasure in such concocted thoughts. Hare Krishna. So, Chakravarti writes, This verse explains the Jiva enjoys on entering the Gandharva city, which is in the verse number 7 of chapter 13. I read last night all those verses in one time. In that, when you get this PDF, you will get the chart that what represent what. Out of a strong desire, thinking that his dead father has returned from the other world, he experienced the happiness of a dream. So this is the Gandharva city, or a palace in the air, which is mental concoction. And here there are other thought is the reference from, I just told you, 7:2:21. Bhutanam iya samvasanam. This is the verse in which how the family get together as the straw in the river by the current of the air. And then again they are separated. And Srila Prabhupada writes, family members are like different people but together in a prison cell. Like sometime in a prison cell, there are different people living together. Similarly, in the family, there are people there are different people with a different karma, but somehow they are put in someone house as a family. Verse number 18. In household life, one is ordered to execute many yajna and food activities, especially in the VIHE yajna, the marriage ceremony for son or daughters, and the sacred thread ceremony. These are all the duties of the grasta, and they are very expensive and troublesome to execute. They are compared to a big hill over which one must cross when one is attached to the material activities. As is climbing on a mountain, this is in the verse in 13th chapter, which means the yagnas one has to perform. They are compared to the big hill over which one must cross when one is attached to material activities. A person desiring to cross over these ritualistic ceremonies certainly feels pain like the piercing of the thorn and pebbles endured by one attempting to climb a hill. Thus the conditioned soul suffers unlimitedly. There's one more twist in the verse actually, and that is here Chakravarti Pad writes, desiring to take responsibility for performing elaborate household sacrifices. Grasta ashram karma chodana kvachid. Like desiring to climb a mountain, ati bharagirim arurukshamano, and agitated by his neighbor's absorption. This is line. Agitated by his neighbor's absorption in such things, lok vyasana karshit manaha. Because we are not actually much unhappy because we don't have things. But we are more unhappy because why other people have things. There is a problem. When he see the neighbor has performed so big yajna, now I have to perform. This is a problem. So agitated by his neighbor's absorption such things, like entering the place with thorns and gravel, he laments. There are many social functions for keeping a prestigious position in society. In different countries and society, there are various festivals and rituals. In India, the father is supposed to get his children married. When he does so, his responsibility to the family is complete. Arranging marriage is very difficult, especially in these days. At the present moment, no one can perform the proper ritual of sacrifice, nor can anyone afford to pay for the marriage ceremony of son or daughters. Therefore, householders are very much depressed. Now they don't have son and daughter. They don't want to have more children because they are not able to educate them, they are not able to marry them. This is the problem. Therefore, householders are very much depressed. And when they are confronted by these social duties, it is as though they were pierced by the thorns and hurt by the pebbles. Material attachment is so strong that despite the suffering, one cannot give it up. Prahlad Maharaj therefore recommend Hitva atma patam grah andhakupam vanam gato yad harim ashriyet. Hitva atam patam grah andhakupam. Instead of falling in a blind well, it is better to leave the home and go to the forest and take shelter of Lord Hari. The so-called comfortable family position is compared to the dark well in the field. If one falls in the dark well covered by grass, his life is lost. Despite his cry for rescue, highly advanced spiritualists therefore recommend that one should not enter the Grastha ashram. It is better to prepare oneself in the brahmachari ashram for austerities and remain a pure brahmachari throughout one's life so that one will not feel the piercing thorn of the material life in the Grastha ashram. In the Grastha ashram, one has to accept invitations from the friends and relatives and perform ritualistic ceremonies. By so doing, one becomes captivated by such things, although he may not have sufficient resources to continue them. To maintain the Grastha lifestyle, one has to work very hard to acquire money. Thus, one is implicated in material life and suffers the thorn pricks. Chakravarti Pad writes, this verse explains the climbing a mountain, which is in the verse 8 of 13th chapter. Sometimes he becomes overburdened with the weight of performing karmas such as wedding or a horse sacrifice, which are like wanting to climb the top of the mountain. His mind is attracted to the attachment his neighbors has for huge sacrifice. They are performing these big sacrifices. Why can't I do this as well? Thus his mind becomes agitated. So, climbing mount is compared to performing yajna by a householder. This is the one line purport of the whole verse. Verse number 19. Sometimes due to bodily hunger and thirst, the conditioned soul becomes disturbed, that he loses his passion and becomes angry with his own beloved sons, daughters and wife. Thus being unkind to them, he suffers all the more. Having lost all fortitude, grahita sara, by the intolerable fire of digestion, dussahena abhyantara vahani means fire. In his body, kaya, sometimes he becomes angry at his family members, kvachid swakutamba krudhyati, hunger and anger. Srila Vidyapati Thakur has sung Tatala Saikite Vari Bindu Sama Sutta Mita Ramani Samaje. Tatal Saikate Vari Bindu Sama, which means in a desert there is a drop of water. Bindu means a drop. Vari means desert. And it means in a desert where you need tons of water, there is a one drop. How can one quench his thirst? Similarly, the happiness in the association of the family is like drop in the desert, drop of water in the desert. The happiness of family life is compared to the drop of water in the desert. No one can be happy in family life. According to the Vedic civilization, one cannot give up the responsibility of family life. But today everyone is giving up family life by divorce. This is due to miserable condition experience in the family. Sometimes due to misery, one becomes very hardened towards his affectionate son, daughter and wife. This is but part of the blazing fire of the forest of material life. This explains how the man becomes pained by the fire of digestion. This is in the verse number 8 of chapter 13. Grahita sar means losing fortitude. verse 20. Saeva punnara nidra agar grahito andhe tamasi magnaha Sunyaranya eva shete na anyad kinchid veda shava eva apavidaha nidra ajgar. Ajgar means python, nidra means sleep. So this is something. Sukdev Goswami continued speaking, Maharaj Parikshit, my dear king, sleep is exactly like python. Those who wander in the forest of material life are always devoured by the python of sleep. Being bitten by this python, they always remain in the darkness of ignorance. They are like dead bodies thrown in the distant forest. Thus, the conditioned soul cannot understand what is going on in life. Swallowed by the python of sleep, Nidra Ajgar Grahita, absorbed in the deepest ignorance, Andhe Tamasi Magnaha, he lies down in the deserted forest, Saeva Shunya Aranya Eva Sete. Sete means sleeping, Aranya means forest, Shunya means deserted. Like the neglected dead body, Apavid the Shava Eva, Shava means dead body. He does not know anything, na anyat kinchid veda. So what is sleep? It's a mode of ignorance. Material life means being fully absorbed in eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Out of this, sleep is taken very seriously. While asleep, one completely forgets the object of life and what to do. Sleep is a nitya pralaya. Pralaya means annihilation. In the 12th canto, there are 4 types of annihilation. One is nitya, which is sleep. 7-8 hours, everybody is dead. He don't know what is going on. Then there is a namit pralaya, when Brahma sleeps. Then there is a mahapralaya, when Brahma's 100 years are over. And then there is a atyantik pralaya, means when one gets liberated from this material world and goes back to Godhead. When asleep, one completely forgets the object of life and what to do. For a spiritual realization, one should try to avoid sleep as much as possible. The Goswamis of Vrindavan practically did not sleep at all. Of course, they slept some, for the body required sleep, but they slept only about 2 hours and sometimes not even that. They always engage in spiritual cultivation. Nidra, ahara, vihara, adik, vijito. Following the footsteps of Goswamis, we should try to reduce sleeping, eating, mating, and defending. This verse explains being swallowed by python, and that is in the verse 9 of 13th chapter. Apavidha means giving up by his friends. Verse number 21. Kechinda bhaganamana danstro durjana danda shukai alabad nidra kshano vyatita hridena anukshamana vigyano andhakupe andhavata patati. In the forest of material world, the conditioned soul is sometimes bitten by the envious enemies, which are compared to the serpent and other creatures. Through the tricks of the enemy, the conditioned soul falls from the prestigious position. Being anxious, he cannot even sleep properly. He thus becomes more and more unhappy and gradually loses his intelligence and consciousness. In that state, he becomes almost perpetually like a blind man who has fallen into a dark well of ignorance. Sometimes his teeth of the pride are broken. Kadachit bhagana man danstraha. Danshtra means teeth and man means pride. And bhajan means broken. Sometimes his teeth of pride are broken by the bite of snake. Snakes in the form of evil men. Durjan Danda Shukai. Durjan means bad people. Sajan means good people. Unable to sleep. His consciousness dwindling because of the troubled heart. Vyathit Hridyan. He falls like a blind man into the blind well. Andhe Kupe Andhava Patita. Blind man falling in a blind well. So, Srila Prabhupada, no purport. Chakravarti Pad, envious enemies, troubled at heart. This verse explains the blind man falling in the well. Oh, this is in the verse number 9 of chapter 13. Falling in the blind man falling in the well. Verse 22. The conditioned soul is sometimes attracted by the little happiness derived from sense gratification. Thus, he has illicit sex or steal another's property. At such a time, he may be arrested by the government or chastised by the woman's husband or protector. Thus, simply for little material satisfaction, he falls into the hellish condition and is put into the jail for rape, kidnapping, theft, and so forth. Sometimes, when searching for a drop of honey in the form of pleasure, kam madhu lavan vichinvan. So the word honey here is compared to, in a verse, this is the verse, in the verse number 10 of 13th chapter, the word honey is compared to something. Ooh, Krishna, shall we go for that? Honey in the form of pleasure. And what is the pleasure? He takes the possession of others' wives and properties. Dar means wife. Paradravya means wealth. Avaruddhano. So he captures somebody's wife or somebody's property. Is beaten by the king or husband. And falls into the insurmountable hell. Patanti apare nirya. Nirya means hell. Material life is such that due to indulgence in illicit sex, Srila Prabhupada's purport is mostly on illicit sex. Gambling, intoxication, and meat eating. The conditioned soul is always in the dangerous condition. Meat eating and intoxication excite the senses more and more. And the conditioned soul falls victim to the woman. In order to keep woman, money is required, and to acquire money, one begs, borrow, or steal. Indeed, he commits the abominable acts that cause him to suffer both in this life and the next. Consequently, illicit sex must be stopped by those who are spiritually inclined or who are on the path of spiritual realization. Many devotees fall down due to illicit sex. Prabhupada is writing, many devotees. This is, you underline this line. Many devotees fall down due to illicit sex. They may steal money and even fall down from the highly honored, renounced order. Then, for a livelihood, they accept menial service and become beggar. It is therefore said in the shastra, Yarme thunadi grahme sukham hitucham. Materialism is based on the sex, whether it is illicit or licit. Sex is full of dangers even for those who are addicted to household life. Whether one has a license of sex or not, there are great troubles. Bahu dukkha bhak. After one indulges in sex, many volumes of miseries ensues. One suffers more and more in material life. The miserly person cannot properly utilize wealth he has And similarly, a materialistic person misuses the human form. Instead of using it for the spiritual emancipation, he uses the body for sense gratification. Therefore, he is called miser. Chakravartipad writes, this verse explains searching for honey in verse number 10. And honey is another's property or another's wife for pleasure. And consequences, arrested by government or punished by the protector of the wealth or wife. And result, falling down from prestigious position in this life and going to hell in the next. And Srila Prabhupada's purport is, whatever sex life is always gives trouble, whether it is licit or illicit, it should be regulated. No illicit sex. And Prabhupada writes, because of intoxication, one get interested in meat eating, and when he eats meat, then he needs woman, and then this way he falls down. This is the sequence. Okay, verse number 23. Learned scholars and transcendental therefore condemn the materialist path of fruitive activity because it is the original source and breeding ground of material miseries, both in this life and the next. Therefore, athacha tasmad, the wise describe udaharanti, the cultivation of sansar for living being, atmana sansar avapanam, in this world asmin, as karma of the two type, pious and sinful, upahayatahi karma. Ubhaya thapi. Ubhaya means both, pious and impious. Not knowing the value of life, karmis create situation whereby they suffer in this life and the next. Unfortunately, karmis, what is karmis means actually? When we say karmi, what it means?
When we say karmi, it means vikarmi.
When we say karmi, it means vikarmi. Okay.
Actually, karmi, if we see in Kali Yuga, it is hard to find karmis actually. Mostly are vikarmis only.
So what actually means karmi? When Prabhupada writes karmi, what it means?
It means a person who has a materialistic goal or materialistic concept. He wants to, he's not interested in spiritual.
So there are karmis, there are karma kandis, there are karma yogis. There are three categories of the word karma. Karmis, karma kandis, and karma yogis.
Karmis are one who earn money for the sense gratification. Karma kandis, they perform the sacrifice to attain to the heavenly planets.
Right.
And karma yogi, they they are interested in devotional service.
They are in the process of purifying their heart. Karma yoga purify the heart.
I think that these karmis are a general term, and then there is divisions of this karma yoga, karma vikarma, and karma kanda. There are gradations.
The word karma is in
But
Bhagavad
karma
Gita.
is-
Bhagavad Gita 8th chapter, there is a word. What is karma? What is karma? Karmis are those who do karma. What is karma? In the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, bhuta bhava udbhava kara karma sangyataha. The answer given by Krishna is that karma is that action which binds you to accept next body, which may be good if the karma is pious, which may be bad if karma is impious. So, karma, the definition you get from Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter, what is karma? Bhuta bhava udbhava kara karma sangyataha. Karma is that which forces you to accept the body, to enjoy or suffer the result of your action. So karmis are those, they may be doing pious activities or impious activities, but they have to accept body. to enjoy or suffer their karma. Unfortunately, karmis are very attached to material sense gratification. And they cannot appreciate the miserable condition of material life, neither in this life or in the next. Therefore, the Veda enjoin that one should awaken to spiritual consciousness and utilize all his activities to attain the favor of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord Himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Yad karos yad same verse. O son of Kunti, all that. It means karmis should become karma yogi at least. There is a better option for them. The result of all one's activities should be utilized not for sense gratification but for the mission of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord gives all information in Bhagavad Gita about the aim of life. And at the end of Bhagavad Gita, He demands surrender unto Him. People do not generally like this demand, but one who cultivates spiritual knowledge for many births eventually surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord. Bahunam janmanam ante gyānvan mam prapadyante. So, sense gratification lead to miseries. Is any verse in Bhagavad Gita you know? Sense gratification leads to misery.
Yeah, Bhagavad Gita 2.40.
520.
What is that?
Vedvadarata.
Well, Vedvatarata are the people, karma kandis, they are very much attached to the flowery language of Vedas, but doesn't say they are suffering.
Means Bhogeshwarya Prasaktanam Taya Pritchi.
That is different though. Bhogeshwarya Prasaktanam Taya Pritchetsam Vivasaya Atma Ka Buddhi Samadhavana Vidyate. That is also for something else. Exact. Yeah, this is the verse. This is the verse in 5th chapter. Je sansa prasaja bhoga dukh yonya evate adi antavantu konte nateshu ramate buddha. Ye sansa prasaja bhoga. That enjoyment which is coming from sense objects. It is a breeding place for misery. More deeply sans prasaja bhoga, generally the eyes has a form to be attached to, ear has a sound to be attached to, nose has a fragrance, tongue has a taste, and skin has touch. Sans prasaja is touch mainly. So mostly, more deeply, this is calm. Because next verse says, Shaknoti yashodum prak sarir vimokshanat kam krodha udbhavam vegam. So it is calm. And calm is in singular in the 3rd chapter also. Also, kamesh, krodesh, rajogun, samudva is singular, which means lust. So sansa prasaja is a lust. In a deeper sense. Because of what he has been said, they describe the word as karma of sinful or pious type in this world. Asmin. Chakravarti Pad writes, because of what has been said means said by learned people. They describe the world as a karma of sinful and pious types. So some karma are sinful, so he goes and suffer in the hell, and some karma is pious, he goes to the heaven and enjoy. In this world, asmin.
Prabhuji, karmis are actually attached to sense gratification and which bind them to next life. And karma yogis are in the process of purifying. And what about these karma kandis?
Mostly they are ritualistic people, and their goal is they are more pious. There's no impious in the Karmakandi. Karmis can do impious things, but Karmakandis are doing only pious things. Yajna to go to the heaven or to get son or to get wealth, but they do the pious things, not impious things.
Oh, thank you, Prabhuji.
Muktastato yadi bandhad dvanda devadatta upahachanti tasmad api vishnu mitra iti anavastiti. Sometimes you enjoy somebody and then somebody will snatch from you and then he will enjoy. And then somebody will snatch from him and then third person will enjoy. So this is what this verse says. And he says name Devadatta and Vishnu Mitra. These are the name of the enjoyers, one after other. Stealing or cheating another person out of his money. The conditioned soul somehow or other keeps it in his possession and escape punishment. Then another man named Devadatta cheat him and takes money away. Similarly, another man named Vishnu Mitra steal the money from Devadatta and take it away. In any case, the money does not stay in one place. It passes from one hand to another. Ultimately, no one can enjoy money, and it remains the property of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Prabhupada's translation is also purport included. If he escaped from punishment allotted by the husband, muktas tado yati bandhat. Devdat then enjoy, Devdat upachinnanti, and then Vishnu Mitra. Thus the situation is unsuitable. It is annavastitihi. Husband means if he steal the wife. Riches, Srila Prabhupada's purport is more like money. Riches come from Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, and the goddess of fortune is the property of Narayan and Supreme Personality of Godhead. The goddess of fortune cannot stay anywhere but by the side of Narayan. Therefore, another of her name is Chanchala. Chanchala means restless.
Restless, unsteady.
Yeah. She cannot be peaceful unless she is in the company of the husband Narayan. For example, Lakshmi was carried away by the materialistic Ravan. Ravan kidnapped Sita, the goddess of fortune belonging to Lord Ram. And as a result, Ravan's entire family, opulence and kingdom were smashed. And Sita, the goddess of fortune, was recovered from his cultures and reunited with Ram. Thus all property, riches and wealth belong to Krishna. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram Yagatapasam Sarvalokam Maheshwaram. Supreme Personality of Godhead is the true beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, and he is the supreme proprietor of all the planetary systems. Foolish materialistic person collect money and steal from another thieves, but they cannot keep it. In any case, it must be spent. One person cheats another and another person cheats another else. Therefore, the best way to possess Lakshmi is to keep her by the side of Narayan. This is the point of Krishna conscious movement. So write down in Krishna conscious movement what is the purpose. All Lakshmi should be by the side of Narayan. This is the point of Krishna conscious movement. We worship Lakshmi, Radharani, along with Narayan, Krishna. We collect money from various sources, but that money does not belong to anyone but Radha and Krishna, Lakshmi Narayan. If money is utilized in the service of Lakshmi Narayan, the devotee automatically lives in the opulent way. However, if one wants to enjoy Lakshmi the way Ravan did, he will be vanquished by the law of nature, and whatever few possession he has will be taken away. Finally, death will take everything away, and death is the representation of Krishna. So I think it's a good advice for at least devotees in this verse. Whatever they collect, they should just offer to Radha and Krishna and live opulently by their mercy rather than try to enjoy the money, not offering to the deities. It is just for those who are living in the temple. This is something, a good advice by Srila Prabhupada and also warning. This verse explains having one's enjoyment is stolen by another person. And this is in the 5:13 chapter. Verse number is not given here. We have to find out. If he escaping the beating by the husband at the expenses of the bribe, he will enjoy the woman. Then another person called Devdat appears and enjoy. And then another person appears and enjoy. No one gets the enjoy to his satisfaction. So we have to find out which verse in 13th chapter this verse goes to. 25. We can do till 25. Today is okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Being unable to protect himself from the threefold misery of material existence. The conditioned soul becomes very morose and lives a life of lamentation. These threefold miseries are miseries suffered by mental calamity at the hands of demigods such as freezing wind and scorching heat, miseries offered by other living entities, and miseries arising from the mind and body themselves. Unable to counteract the condition of suffering arising from body, mind, and other beings. Cold and wind, he becomes depressed by severe anxieties, threefold miseries. The so-called happy materialistic person is constantly having to endure the threefold miseries of life, adi devic, adhyatmic, adi bhautik. Actually, no one can counteract these threefold miseries. As three may assail one at one time, or one misery may be absent, or the other may be present. Thus, the living entity is full of anxiety, fearing the misery from one side or other. The conditioned soul must be disturbed by at least one of these three miseries, and there is no escape. This verse explains 13:11. Dashana means the conditions of suffering. Dasha. From the three miseries in the material world. Tapatrayi. And Bhagvatam is for tapatriya unmoolanam, to uproot all the three type of miseries if we follow the Bhagavad Dharma. In how many days we have to finish the chapter 4?
Prabhuji, 4 days.
So today is second day, 2 more days. So, and verses are how many?
Verses are 41.
56,
No,
Prabhu. 56.
56.
Prabhuji, 5 days are there, 5 days.
So we are 26. I think we are in a good position, right?
Yes.
Oh, it says we should finish till 26 today. Yes, we have finished 26, huh? It's okay.
Today we are actually, finished more. Actually, today we were supposed to finish up till 17 only.
Oh, okay. Oh, we are gone farther, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
We have completed tomorrow's quota also. We are still left with so much time.
Okay. The 15th chapter is nothing, only the names of genealogy. And 16 is in 2 days. Okay. I think we will do it. Now you have any question or comment or some discussion? Yes. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. We are 18 today, huh? All present.
Yes.
Panchajanya Nath Das.
Yes, Prabhuji.
From?
I am from ISKCON East of Kailash, New Delhi.
Okay, Sadhu. So, anybody else has a question about what we have discussed? Better, if you have time, go to the chapter 13 and correlate these verses with one another.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, corresponding verse, you said about the
Doctor,
honey
yeah,
is
doctor, you are also in 5th canto along with Bhakti
yes, yes,
Vedanta.
yes, because I had to do fifth canto also, so because I
Okay,
missed it, I'm
okay.
doing
So,
it
what
now.
is your question?
It's not question. You asked to find out the correlate verse from the 13th chapter for this, the how the people take the money and whatever money are again taken by
Somebody
another
or
man. So
by
that
somebody else. You okay? Cheater and teacher, cheater and cheated.
so the 10 is a corresponding verse in 13th chapter. He has little honey and that is also taken by someone else.
Okay, but this must be in the range of 10 or 11 somewhere.
Yeah, 10. Later part of the 10th verse.
I can
Second part.
I can get it out. Both chapters can be kept together. I don't know. Otherwise, I can keep the two on the screen. That will be nice.
Uh,
How to do that, I don't know. I'm not a technical person. Anybody has any question what we have done today?
Prabhuji, I was reading chapter 13, then I find these almost similar. Where it is the difference, keeping
The
these two
difference is
chapters
that
different?
because in the verse there is no purport, but in purport the answer is given. And there is only the word written there, but here the explanation is given of those things. It's like when you say allegory, then somebody has to explain this. Like in a Puranjan allegory, there is a person with a unknown friend, and there is a young girl, and the 5 serpents, and the 11 commanders, and big army. So what it means actually? So it is written like that, and then you need explanation. The person is a living entity, the unknown friend is a super soul, the girl is a intelligence, and the 5 snakes are the 5 type of life air, and the 11 journals are the 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 working senses, and 1 mind. And many desires are like his army. This was like that. In 13th chapter only there are words, and then you need explanation that is given in the 14th chapter. It's a continuation. Both chapters are in continuity.
we can make the table, first side 13th chapter and second side 14th chapter.
That will be
corresponding.
nice. That will be nice. I think I have something similar, but and also when you go to the, I think, no, in 6th canto also, when the son of Daksh was approached by Narad Rishi, and then he told them something, and there is no meaning to that. And there are some 10 things like that, and then they have to think about that, and they found the meaning of that, and that is exactly like this material world. So it's same thing like a allegory. There Narad is speaking to the son of Daksha, Haryaso and Shablaso. I can go for that. We are 26, huh? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Where is my how to share? Madhuri, your hand is up. I'm trying to find out. Share video.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
It says, chapter 13 and 14 together. Chapter 13, 1 to 19, and chapter 14, 1 to 41, allegories story of Adhbhut and its explanation by Sukdev Goswami. So these are the verses 13, 1 to 19, and the supporting verses from 14th chapter as 1 to 41. Then in chapter 13, verse 20 to 26, Adhbhut conclude his instruction to Rahugan. So there is a different topic here. And last verses of our chapter 14, sages glorify Adhbhut. So this is the verse 1 to 19 corresponding to word to in 13th chapter to verse to 1 to 41. So it is more elaborate explanation of the, but 20 almost 19 verses are explained in 41 verses.
Prabhuji, it's like because of the purports of Srila Prabhupada, we don't find any difference because even in chapter 13, Prabhupada has given the explanation in his purports.
So that's what I'm saying. The purport,
Yes.
both purport are same. But if we read the verse, then it is a little different. We need
Little
explanation.
different. And that's why most of us, we are not able to see the difference between 13th chapter and 14th chapter.
There is no,
greatness of Srila
only the last portion of the both chapters are different. But they are same. They are repetition. I think repetition for a good thing is good, because we have to give up this material mentality. So it's a hammering.
Isn't it repetition because the king asked that he could not understand, and
Yeah.
he said, "Can it be?
Yeah.
Can it be explained more?"
Yeah,
that's why it's
there's a question at the end of the chapter 13. There's a question. Please elaborate. Therefore, elaborating, right? Oh, here is a chart. Features of the forest in chapter 13, explanation of analogy in chapter 14. So there is a full chart already here. See, full chart is there. We are here somewhere, verse number 10. Beehives be attacked, and even joy is stolen. Searching for the honey is beaten by bees. After great difficulty, obtain it, but by force others steal it. And the explanation of this verse is from verse 22, 23, 24. In 4 verses, this one verse 10 is explained. Can you see that? So if you will get this chart, this already somebody has done the hard work. Verse 11 of chapter 13 is answered in verse number 25, 6 and also in 34 and 35. And this is verse up till verse 19, there is a comparison. Oh, chart is there. Okay? We can keep, I don't know, we can keep couple tables and can shift to one to other. I have to learn. Okay. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I was just trying to say, you've got Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, he's got the Bhagavad Subodhini, and you've got the table over here as well.
This is from same place.
Yes.
Yeah, this is made, this whole teaching of the all cantos are there. There is a help from that, and also Bhagavad Vidyalaya, they together they work this. Yeah, same thing. Subodhini has all these things. Right. This is from there. Okay. See you tomorrow. Hari Bol. Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.